Daf Hashavua, Daf Chof Beis Amid Aleph, the top of the Amid. So just as a chazara for the last Gemara that we did, for those that didn't hear it, is that we're in a little bit of a quandary with Rosh Chodesh laning. Why? Because on Rosh Chodesh we lane 4 aliyos. So the first parsha of Karbanilach Milisha, it's Sabbath and Yisrael, is 5 psukim. Then is Yom HaShabbos, it's 8 psukim. Then Yom HaShabbos is 2 psukim. And then Rosh Hashanah is 5 psukim. Basically what it comes down to is that the Gemara doesn't know how to split up the 4 psukim, the 4 aliyos, because you can't start aliyah with, you can't finish an aliyah knowing that there's only 2 psukim left. And you can't start aliyah, you can't go into a new parsha only lane 1 pasuk. So you have to leave over 3 psukim before the next aliyah. And if you go into a new aliyah, you have to read 3 psukim. So basically what we're holding is that the first 8 psukim, if you split it up 3 and 3, so you only left 2 psukim for the third guy. And you can't leave that over. If you do it 4 and 4, then you have Yom HaShabbos. So then what are you going to do? How are you going to get that third pasuk after the 2 psukim of Yom HaShabbos? If you do 1 pasuk of Rosh Hashanah, you're not allowed, because you're not allowed to start a new paragraph with 1 pasuk. And if you read 3 psukim to Rosh Hashanah, you only have 2 psukim left, so you're stuck. So says the Gemara, Psachim, we change it to Megillah. Megillah. Hey, very good. So it says like this. Says the Gemara. So this was the Shiloh of Ula Barav from Rav. So says the Gemara. Amar. So he said back to him, 3rd line. Amar lo Amar lo. He said back to him. Rav said back to Ula Barav. Zulo Shamati. I never heard an answer to this Shiloh. But Kayotza Bashamati, I heard something similar that we'd be able to apply to here. The Tanan. We learned in a Mishnah in Tainis that there are different mishmaros of the Kohanim. The mishmaros, the Kohanim used to come to the Beis Hamikdash in 24 different groups, everyone getting a week. On top of that, the Yisraelim also had 24 mamados, stations of people that used to come, because we know that when you bring a carbon, you have to stand over your personal carbon. So since these karbanos, every day the carbon tamid was brought for Klal Yisrael, so you used to have a representative of Klal Yisrael standing over by the Kohanim when they brought their karbanos. Everyone had a different week. Now, when 1 week went, the other 23 mamados stayed at home in their shuls, in their communities, and they used to have different things that they did on that day, part of which was read from the Sefer Torah. So on Sunday, they used to read from Bereshis Baruchim, and Yirakia, day 1 and day 2. So Bereshis, that parsha is 5 psukim, and Yirakia is 3 psukim, that's 8 psukim. Now the problem is 8 psukim and 3 aliyos. How do you do that? You have to have 3 psukim per aliyah. So says the Gemara. By Yom Rishon Bereshis, on the first day you read Bereshis for Yirakia. The Tanya law we learned on that. Bereshis b'shnayim, Yirakia be'echad. Bereshis you split it up into 2 aliyahs. Yirakia you split into 1 aliyah. V'avinamah, we asked the following: Bishlam Yirakia be'echad. It's good that Yirakia fits for 1 aliyah. That's plus psukim. It's 3 psukim. El Bereshis b'shnayim. How do you split Bereshis, the first day of creation, into 2 aliyahs? Chamisha psukim. It's 5 psukim in time. We learned that in a brisa. Hakori batorlo yiflas mishoshim psukim. You're not allowed to read less than 3 psukim. Vidmar Allah. And we learned on that. Rav Amar. So what do you do on the first day of the Mamados, on Yom Rishon? Rav Amadoli, you go back a pasuk. Okay? So the first one will read 3 psukim. The second one will go back, read pasuk Gimel, then Daled, then Hey. Similar like what we do on Chodesh, which is what this Gemara is going to speak about right here. This is the Gemara. Shmuel Amar, and Shmuel says posek. No, you split up the 3rd pasuk into 2. So that you read Aleph, Beis, and half of Gimel. Then the next aliyah reads the second half of Gimel, Dalet, and A, and then you read Yirakia. Rav Amadoli, my time alone with say, why does Rav say you go back a pasuk instead of splitting a pasuk? Because like Shmuel says, because he holds called psukadul pasuk Moshe Analo Paskinole. You now let us split psukim differently than Moshe Rabbeinu split. With Shmuel Amar Paskinole, Shmuel says that we do split the psukim. How can he say that? For Gemara, Rab Chanina Kara Rab Chanina Kara said. Rab Chanina was called Chanina Kara, that he used to be a bucket. He used to teach the psukim to the children in school. So he said, Sar Gadol, Rab Chanina Gadol. I had tremendous pain trying to convince Rab Chanina Gadol to split up psukim for the kids. Below Italy, he only let me do it for we're over here. Since I needed it to teach them. So how did Shmuel split the psukim for mamados? We see that he says, Rab Chanina Kara said they only let me split it for what? For the Tinoka Shabbos Rabbin, the school children. And says Gemara, why did Rab Chanina Gadol let Rab Chanina Kara split it up? Mishum Delashim, because he needed to. There wasn't another option for them to learn. So too. Here, there's no. It's not possible. You have to read Bereshit 5 psukim, and you have to read Yirakia. There's no way around it. Shmuel Amar Posek. So the Gemara says, Shmuel says you split the psukim. My time Amar Doleg. Why doesn't he just say Doleg? Now it becomes a little bit of a complicated part. Well, it says like this: we have 5 psukim that we need to split into 2 aliyahs. The first man the Amar says you do. So there's a machlokas. Do we do 2.5 psukim and 2.5 psukim? And we say that that's called 3. We split the middle pasuk, or do we read 3 psukim and then go back and read the pasuk Gimel again? So why does Shmuel say you split and you don't go back? Zera, he was concerned mishuma nechnasim and mishuma yotzim, for people coming mechnasim coming in late to shul, and mishuma yotzim and people leaving shul early. Says Rashi. If you look at the last. The first little line in Rashi, Zer Mishuma Nechnasim, very, very important Rashi. Zer Mishuma Nechnasim. We're scared people will come in late. Sheyishmu Hasheni Maskal Pasuk Zeh. They're going to come in and they're going to hear the second aliyah start with what pasuk? Pasuk Gimel. The Yomer, and they're going to say, wait a second, how the first aliyah only read 2 psukim? The Yomru Lo Kara Rishon Elishnayim. So that's going to throw people off. The Chenayotzim, and so 2 people that leave early, what's going to happen? Sheyishmu Sarishim Koresh Shlosha. They hear the first aliyah read 3 psukim, and they're going to leave. Yatzum in Beis HaKnesses, they're going to leave and look at the sinner, and they're going to say, wait a second. The second aliyah, the third aliyah is 3 psukim. The second aliyah is only 2 psukim. I guess you're allowed to read 2 psukim. They're going to think that the second aliyah was only 2. So therefore, that's why Shmuel does not agree to Rav. Shmuel's way is better because he splits the middle pasuk. If you would split a different pasuk, you'd have the same problem. But he splits the middle. So the guy that was there for the first aliyah sees, he's splitting the middle pasuk into 2. And the guy who comes in late is going to see, they split the other pasuk, the middle pasuk into 2. On that, Frank the Gemara is follows. Meisvei. We're going to ask a question. Meisvei, Parsha shel Shisha Psukim, Parsha of 2 Psukim, Koronos of Shnayim. You read Parsha shel Shisha Psukim, Koronos of Shnayim. Parsha of 6 Psukim. If you have a Parsha of 6 Psukim, Koronos of Shnayim. You could split that into 2, 3 and 3. The Shachamisha Psukim, but if you have 5 Psukim, the Yachid. You have to read it as 1 aliyah. Why do you have to read it as 1 aliyah? Because you can't split that into 2. That's what the Brisa says. Karo Rishon, if the first aliyah mistakenly read Shlosha, instead of reading 5, there was 5 psukim for that. There was 5 psukim in that parasha. If you by mistake read 3, Hasheni Korishnaim. This is talking about a regular Monday, Thursday. We're not talking about Mamados here. Hasheni Korishnaim. The second aliyah reads the final 2 psukim in Parsha Zu. The Echad be Parsha Acheres, and he reads 1 of the next parasha. So what do you do different than the way we hold? He went into the next parasha and only read 1. The Yesh Omrim, which is a shita that we're familiar with, holds Shlosha. that you read 3 from the new parsha. You'll read 2 from the leftover from the first parsha, and read 3 into the first parsha. Because you don't what? You can't start a new parsha without reading 3 psukim. So it comes out that the Tanakama, just for a clarification, the Tanakama preferably holds that you should also not leave over a parsha without having 3 psukim, because he says that the first aliyah should preferably read 5. If the guy only read 3, then you go into the next aliyah. But that means he'd rather not end off the first parsha with what? With 2 psukim. He wants to end off the first parsha with 3. So he cares about ending off the first parsha. He doesn't care, he's less concerned about going into a new parsha with 1 pasuk, because he allows you that if the guy made a mistake, go into the new parsha with 1 pasuk. So he cares about the ending, but he doesn't care about the beginning of a new parsha, the Tanakh. The Yesh Omrim cares about even the new parsha. And of course, he'll agree with the Tanakh about not ending off the old parsha with only 2 psukim. Vim Isa, so frankly, Gemara, Vim Isa, and if it's true that you have these eitzos of either doleg or posek, so frankly, Gemara, Vim Isa, if it's true, Lamandam or doleg nidlog. According to the Mandamar that says you can go back a pasuk, so nidlog, why don't you just, according to the Tanakh, why when someone by mistake read 3, why doesn't the next one, instead of reading 2 and then reading 1 into the next one, why doesn't he just go back to a pasuk before and read pasuk Gimel, Daled, and Hey? Ulamad Amar Posek Nifsok. And according to the one that holds Posek, you should be Nifsok. According to the one that says you split, you should split. You should just split one of the next psukim. Now Rashi does not have that girsa. Rashi says that the question is only on the Manda Amar Dolik, because according to Manda Posek, you can't ask that question. You can't. According to Shmuel, once the first guy read 3, what are you going to do? If someone leaves early at that point, you're done. It doesn't matter. What are you going to go back and split up psukim? You already read the 3. So therefore, it's only a kasha, says Rashi, on the Manda Amar Dolik. Answers the Gemara, Shiny Asam the Efshar. There it's talking about Sheni v'Chamishi, like I told you. And since it's Sheni v'Chamishi, you don't have to go back a pasuk. You could go into the next parsha and read from the next parsha. You could keep on going. On Sheni v'Chamishi, we usually only read till Sheni. So you have psukim to spare. It's all the same topic. You're allowed to go into the next psukim. So therefore, Shiny Yasin the Efshar, since it's possible to move on, so then you can move on, but because it's Monday and Thursday. But the original machlokes between Rav and Shmuel, that's talking about by the Mamados, where you have to read Bereshis 5 psukim, and you have to read Yeraki, and you have to stop. You can't go into the next parsha. So therefore, that's when they would say Doleg. Rav would say Doleg. But here, you don't have to do that. You just move into the next parsha. So then either go into the next parsha 1, like the Tanakama, or go into the next parsha 3, like the Yeshom. Amar Rabbi Tanchum, Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi, a tiny bit more. But Tanchum said in the name of Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Allah Yeshomrim. The Allah is like the Yeshomrim. The Allah is like the Yeshomrim, that when you start the new parsha, you should start. Don't do 1 pasuk. You should do 3 pasukim. Amar Rabbi Tanchum, Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Just like we pass that you shouldn't go in to the next parsha without reading 3 psukim. Kach, so too, we're going to hold a misharin b'parsha b'botzim mishosh psukim before, when you in the first aliyah, when you have 5 psukim, we're going to hold like everyone holds, even the Tanakama, that the first the first aliyah should read 5 and he shouldn't read 3, because then he's going to leave off with 2. And that everyone holds, like the Tanakh holds like that, and the Yeshom holds like that. And that correctly Mar Pshita, obviously. Why do you have to tell me that? Everyone agrees with that. Gemara says it a little bit more. Ashto, umas chalto. if at the beginning of a parsha, to come Mekel Tanakama, where the Tanakama is Mekel, and he says that you could just read one pasuk into the next parsha, the second aliyah, right? The come Mekel Tanakama Machmiri, we're Machmir, and we say no, the Mechmiri Yeshom and the Yeshom say that you have to read 3 psukim. So share in the first aliyah, when the first guy, when there's a question how much he should read, share the Machmir Tanakama. The Tanakama says that preferably he has to read the full 5 psukim. Lo kol shkein the Machmir Yeshomrim. We got to assume that the Yeshomrim are going to be Machmir. Therefore, everyone holds like that, and therefore, of course, we're going to pass like that. First of all, we be passing like the Yeshomrim, and I think the Gemara is more focused on the fact that the Yeshomrim hold like that. Answers the Gemara, no. Mal desema nechnasim shchichi. That when someone leaves shul, it's more common for someone to come in nechnasim, to come in late, than to leave shul early. Why? Why can't you leave shul when the Sefer Torah is out? Halacha. You're not allowed to leave shul when the Sefer Torah is open. So therefore, I would have thought that since nechnasim is shkiach, it's more shkiach for someone to come in late. So therefore, it could be that the Tanakama is concerned about starting a new paragraph and going one pasuk, because then when a guy comes in late, he's going to say, wait a second, the aliyah before this only read one pasuk. But yotzim lo shchichi, leaving early is not going to be shchiach. So therefore, I might, why? The manchi Sefer Torah, to leave the Sefer Torah, but not can go out. So I might think that you could finish a parsha and have 2 psukim left over, because what's going to happen? A guy's going to leave. That's not shchiach that a guy's going to leave early. So therefore, he's not going to leave, and he's going to know what the next step is. So ending is a problem, but opening a new paragraph is less of a problem. The Mashmalon comes along, Rabbi Tanchum, or maybe Shul Levi, that says that the Tanakama paskins like that by both. Even though he's not clear that he paskins like the Tanakama in the first case, he is going to paskin like the Tanakama. Kamashmalon that we paskin. And what's the Kamashmalon? That we paskin that way anyway, or that's how the Yeshom remote? Kamashmalon. Well, if the Gemara in the Havamina was saying that for sure the Tanakama holds like that, so I guess Kamashmalon, the Tanakama holds like that. That the halacha is like that. That means the Tanakama holds like that. I'm not sure. That means the Tanakama holds like that, or how would he know that? Or that the halacha is like that? I'm not sure. Either way, the halacha is like that. Frankly, more of a Tanakama like Maishna Shiuri Delomish. So what's Pshat Tanakama? Why is he bothered that you shouldn't end the first 5 psukim with 2 psukim left? But he doesn't care that you could start the next paragraph with one pasuk, and then we'll finish. The Tanakama Maishna Shiuri. What's the difference? Shiuri, leaving over the low that he doesn't let you leave it over. Mishom Yotzim, because people that are gonna leave early and think that that you're only gonna read 2 psukim by the end. Askuli Nami, starting a new paragraph also, we should be concerned for people that are coming in late for sure, because we just said leaving early is less prevalent than coming in late. We should be aware that someone's going to come in late and see that you only read one pasuk. Answers the Gemara. Amri, we could say, Manda Ayo, someone that comes in late, Shiuli Shaya. He has someone to ask. He can come in and he says, why? What's with the aliyah before? There was only one pasuk? What's pshat? Shiuli Shaya. So therefore, he can ask. Shiuli Shaya, he can ask, but the other person can't ask. Let's see if we can finish one more line. Rabba Berei Rava, Shalchle Rabba Berei Rava, Rav Yosef. Rabba Berei Rava sent the question to Rav Yosef Hilchas Samai. What's the halacha? Shalchle sent back to him Hilchas. So the halacha is Doleg. You go back a pasuk, and when do you go back? B'emsai Dolgin. You have to make sure to go back between the first and the second aliyah. B'emsai Dolgin. That you have to make sure that the middle one, the middle aliyah, that second aliyah is the one that you go in and you go back. Okay, we'll try to explain this tomorrow. Let's stop here. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.